Here you go.
You started the okay. Hi everyone, I'm Shweta Revankar and today we are back with another video, and today's video is going to be super special because we have a special guest with us, Dr. Laxmi Seshaiyer, who is in fact the co-founder of Brigubao. Hi Dr. Laxmi.
Hi Shweta, how are you
Hi,
doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, catching up, chugging on.
So today we are here to find out more about this unique timetabling method that you have. But before
Yeah.
we get into that, tell us something about yourself.
Well, I come from a small town in India, in Kerala. But my parents are now in Chennai, and now, but I am in UK now, and I do part lecturing, I do consulting, and astrology is my passion. So
Okay.
that's how we go about it.
Okay. So, but tell us this, that how do you connect with students so much? I hear, there was initially some problem in your education when you were young. So,
That's true. When until my class 10, I was a backbencher. I was a non-performing student. I used to be a touch and go student. If I can say, when I say touch and go, those days pass mark was about 35 out of 100. So I used to be in that range, 35, 38. If I get 40, it's a big thing for me. So I used to be a non-performing student. And I used to have a lot of issues with regard to the stress of performance, not able to perform. My parents used to have so much stress that my daughter, is having, problems in transpiring from what I know to paper used to be my problem.
okay.
So, so there are areas of, each subject has a different problem area. So that's what it is. But come 11th standard, things completely drastically changed. I joined commerce and I was performing, one of the top ones in the class.
Okay.
So the yogas changed.
Yes.
Yeah. So and also I had a good gurus with me who used to guide me. So all these were supporting factors that used to come. My father was surprised when my first cycle test in my 11th standard came, and he was like, "Is this your paper?" 90. I mean, he actually came to school to figure out whether it was really my paper. So that's how the thing is. So I connect with all the students, who find it difficult to perform, and they have difficulty in transpiring. They understand the concept. But when it comes to writing it into the paper, there's a lot of things that goes, your mind is not appropriate. We are stressed out about the results, how to, and we, about to write an exam itself is a big planning we need to do. So, I relate with them. And then when I was doing my PhD, and that's when I started to do my astrology as well, or before that, in 2006. And I used to get really fancied about all the panchangas and hora and all that, and the building blocks. And I used to test all these things on all my friends and tell them, "Can you do this for me? Can you test? Can you study this particular subject this time for about 3 months and tell me what is the result?" And they used to be fantastic. They used to come and say, "I have problem with mathematics. I have problem with statistics, transpiring business mathematics. For some it used to be very difficult to get scorings in that. So for some marketing was an issue. For some IT was an issue. So yeah. So I used to try all this timetabling with them, and it used to give fantastic results.
It's
So
a tried and tested method.
it is very much tried and tested whether in a lot of age groups. It's just not just the adults or the ones who are doing degree or anything. Even for small for the kids, for the transforming, the key education years, even for them, it works fantastically. Actually, it works fabulously for students who have just started to study, because the planets are young, and we can actually have them to work for us,
Okay.
and the way we do it, is simple, but it is a building block. The uh, other day, if I remember, you had given me two horoscopes.
Yes.
Then,
I
yeah,
have given you two horoscope twins, 5 minutes apart.
that's the one. That's the one. So let me see if I can pull out that for you and show how things work and how
Yes.
we can. Just give me one. Let me just
So
share
I'll
this.
give a little background to our viewers. So the other day I had given two horoscopes to Dr. Laxmi Seshaiyer. They're twin girls, my friends actually, and they're doing different careers choices today. One is studying civil engineering, and the other is studying her bachelor's in computer science. And they're 5 minutes apart. So let's see how the timetabling method works for them, right?
Yeah, so this is very interesting, right? They are only 5 minutes apart. So if
Yes.
we are going to see the main Rashi chart for both of them,
Okay.
see, if you see here, the both of them, they will have similar ascendant. They have the same planets everywhere in D1. So we
Yes.
cannot dissect in there how their behavior is going to be, or even how what they're going to study, how their practices would be, how their preferences would be. So we actually go in deeper to the divisional charts, and we find out what is more, which will suit them, right? So for if I remember, Elizabeth, did I get it right?
Elizabeth, yeah. You can just call it
Elizabeth Elizabeth is the younger one,
younger one,
right?
yes. Computer.
And she's doing BSc Computer Science. Now,
Yes.
if we see computer science for doing computer basic understanding is we need to have couple of planets working. So
Okay.
if we see here, we have Ketu working the 5 and 10 because 5 is for education and 10th is for fifth from fifth also should work for you. You know
Okay.
the main concept is that the fifth and the 10th has to be in a good position for you to do that particular course. So we have got Ketu here, and the Lord is Mars, which again is kind of machinery and things, and the Sun is for your mathematical ability. For
True.
computing, the basic is mathematics because it's all zeros and ones,
Yes.
the base of mathematics. So we need either Mercury or Sun is very important, and then Ketu is for computers. So it's very clear that she would be going in for something related to IT.
Okay.
Okay, and this is, and when we change it to Lee, sorry, what
Lena.
Lena, see for her, the main thing is for her, she is doing civil engineering.
Yes.
Yeah. So for her main are so for a civil engineering student, basically we need fourth house because fourth is the for Mars we need for land because without land you cannot do civil engineering. So that is the basic need. And then we need for education, we again see fifth house. Mercury is there for her good education. And then again, the 10th house, we got Saturn as the Lord, which is sitting in the second. So this combination where land is Mercury and also Saturn. Yes, this is one of the combinations. There are many combinations for civil engineering,
Yes.
but as per Raoji, this is one of the combinations which can give us civil engineering. She will be very good at drawing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes. She is. She is very good at everything related to drawing and actually putting it down on paper.
Yeah. So why that is because her way of doing, she will be meticulous. She will want everything into the paper done right at that time, and she will do it beautifully. That's
Yes.
because of her Saturn.
Okay.
And her drawing. So for example, if she's having difficulty in drawing, right? Like for example, she is having to architect the plan for the building today, and she's going to do it, and she's having difficulty in doing that. For we would see what her. I'm not going to go into deeper aspects. So we need to see what are her positive planets and challenging planets, and then we configure exclusively for her ability, which will push that particular aspect into performing one which will be easier for her. And basically now, by now, my post, you would have known we give an particular hour of the day.
Yes.
So that's one of the basic aspect we do, is that we
Basically,
will.
maximizing the effect.
That's it. So we are taking that last mile. I mean, you already are doing good thing, but when you're not able to transform that into a good score, then this will definitely help you take into that last mile, and bang, you're going to nail it. So that is
Yes.
why I feel. So for example, if she was to, this is a very most simplest way I'm giving it away, but if somebody was, if she's having problem in drawings, right, and say for today, if she's going to do a drawing, say between, this is my UK time here, 13:58, from 12:58 to 13:58, that could, help her expand her horizon, so that she uses that hour very well. I mean, this is a very simple thing the rishis have already given us.
Yes.
Because our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is, is all on the planet's name. And the first hour of the day from the sunrise is the ruling planet of that particular uh, day, right? If it is Monday, the first hour from sunrise is ruled by moon. Tuesday, the first hour is ruled by Mars. So this configuration is already in place. But once we know how the planets are placed for the students, we will be able to configure that to in a fantastic way, which will, it will, like you already have an engine working, we will have an high speed engine working for you.
Yes. Exactly.
So,
Like there's some students, who are just at the border of that 79. So we help you cross that border and get you, a great achievement.
yeah, exactly. Well, this reminds me, one of my friends, her daughter, she's at Bangalore. She says, my daughter never crosses 70. Lakshmi, she never crosses 70. I said, okay, let's try this out for her. And she passed her 10th now, and now she's going to do her 11th. So she was doing this from her class 6 to class 10. And this has changed the way she has performed. Her intensity of performance, if you see, like in last 4 years, have completely changed, and her scorings are absolutely good. Her writing, her handwriting, how she writes her papers have changed. That means a lot, because when a teacher is going to sit down to correct your papers, if your handwriting is good, the teacher will already feel like taking the paper and read what the student has.
Yeah, then you see a paper and it's written very well, so you feel like actually, oh, the student must be something, interesting.
That's it. So, yeah, and what else? Because you're a student, Shweta, what other criterias, you think?
Yeah, because any which way we have a timetable planned out for us.
Yeah.
And, timetable works very well astrologically. I think it gives us that extra push to perform better. That's what I feel about this.
Yeah, and and also because it is all about the facts that the timetabling itself is putting our mind in a system, right? Once Saturn is in place and systematically, he will just give you abundance.
Yes, true.
Because Saturn loves people who are very systematic, and and he will give out that blessing, so that you can perform better, finer, which is more important, especially for students. I'm just quoting for Elizabeth. If I see, she would need more of maybe development. She might have a little issue in developing softwares like coding. She might not have problem in functionality understanding. She might have a little issue with regard to coding, which we could help her out with with our timetabling, and and few other bits which we do as a building block. So this is like a thing which will help every student perform. We really wish, it's in true sense that Urmila and I have taken a lot of effort in figuring out how we can be of help, especially because I don't think anybody has done this exclusively.
students. I think nobody has done this technique before. It's very new, because see, timetable as it is, it's a part of student life.
Yeah,
When it comes with astrology, I think it makes it better for all of us,
true,
right? And I,
true.
as a student, I think I understand that more than anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a parent, from the parents' point of view, it is also important because for them it is like giving a hope for them also that their students is going to perform eventually. That's the idea that their stress. I mean, I have seen my parents struggling so much because my brother and sister, they're top for they perform like anything. They're top performance rank holders. My cousins were all like in the same school, imagine. And they were like top rankers and school leaders and this, that. I am like, my God, I mean, I get butchered like anything, right? So I understand the pain that how it can be. It can be a social stigma, it can be a stress, it can lead to a lot of things. So this is something which is simple building blocks. I mean, all we need is your date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth, and we will configure the best timetable for the student or the so that they can work.
So many aspiring engineers, doctors, lawyers, so much because I think 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, these are the 4 crucial years.
Absolutely.
And the slightest change can, determine so many factors in your life. Like
And
even
and
wrong.
and as you say in your previous video, as you mentioned, knowledge is the primary thing. If we are not going to invest our time and energy in knowledge gathering at this primary years, then we are going to miss out lot coming in future. So this is something to think for all the parents also. In case if you feel there is something somewhere your son or daughter can perform better, they should just
Take this.
yeah, absolutely use exclusive consulting. And this is a place where it is life changes have happened, and it has
Yes.
happened to me, and that is why I want to give it to all, so that everybody should be can make the best of this.
Yes, true. So I guess this has been fun, this session. Thank you, Dr. Laxmi Seshaiyer, for giving us such
Thank you very
insight.
much.
And I think the people you at rigubhav@gmail.com with their queries,
Yeah,
student-related queries.
absolutely, we look forward on Facebook. They can put their queries even on Facebook.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're doing a wonderful job with all those tips, student tips.
Yeah, I hope all the students make the best of it, because these are something that they look very simple, but if you follow it minimum of like 21 days, trust me, this makes amazing changes. It does give a lot of good results. 21 days is minimum that is required to do a change, to bring into a practice, but 21 days and then you keep following it up, bingo.
So I think with that thought, thank you so much, and we'll see you again, hopefully.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome.